Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're doing a pho mukbang, and this is my first mukbang video, guys. I'm so excited. Today we will be answering some questions. I have some questions here that a lot of people ask as a single parent, so it's basically about parenting and daily life. So we'll get into it, the questions, while I'm eating. I am in a public park, so if you guys hear stuff around or you see people walking around, that's just how it works out here. Let's prepare my food. So I'm first gonna take a bite of this egg rolls. I ordered egg rolls and a shrimp pho. So they did give me a sweet chili sauce, and let's go in. I love it so much. These are so hot. Every single time I order these, they're always burning hot. But I mean, it's so hot, but thank God they cool down just a little bit. The sweet chili sauce, always amazing. I love Asian food. One day, God willing, I would love to go to Vietnam and have fresh pho in Vietnam. That would be iconic. It's like eating tacos in Mexico, like iconic. Like, you cannot tell me tacos are better anywhere else than Mexico. Okay, you can't. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my pho. So I'm gonna show you guys how I prepare it. I'm gonna try to, because it's kind of warm. So I usually switch it up. I do put everything that's in here. I love onions and scallions. Scallions. I mean green onion. Why am I saying scallions? Scallions is something different. Girl, I don't even know how to talk sometimes. Ay, me estoy quemando. Can't really show you guys because it's hot, but I'm gonna pour some noodles and I'll grab it here in a bit while we chat, and that way the noodles can, you know, do their noodly thing. But basically, this is the noodles. If you've never had pho, you should try it. And if you don't like it, I'm so sorry for you. You had horrible taste. I'm just kidding. Okay, people like what they like. You know what? We gotta respect that. So I went ahead and put this here. I also like to put whatchamacallit, the cilantro and everything. So here I also have my, you know, other stuff. So le vamos a echar cilantro. We're gonna pour in some cilantro to give it that delicious taste. I do have some sriracha and hoisin sauce, my favorite condiments in the Asian world. I don't put the basil in there. I just do sometimes like a jalapeno here and there. Of course, I'm gonna add limon. I wish you guys can smell this, eat this, just be here with me so you guys can see the vibes. And then of course, le vamos a echar nuestro chili oil. Chili oil is bomb. So I actually like to eat mine with chopsticks. There's no other way to do it, girl. I wish there was another way, but there's not. I'm just kidding. I love using chopsticks. Love. And here's my chili oil. Chili. Let's get into the questions while my pho does its flavor thing. Let's get into it. So the first question I have here is, how do you do it all by yourself? Honestly, this question is crazy because there's some days when I wake up and I'm like, I don't know how I do this. Like, that's an everyday thing. Honestly, I think I'm a big believer in God. I feel like God doesn't put you in, he'll put you in situations where he's going to test you. And even if it's the worst or the best thing that happens to you in life, I truly believe that God sends you things your way to see how you're going to handle them. Like, whether you're going to be resilient, are you going to let it, like, are you going to let this be like an ego thing? Like, is this going to humble you? Is it going to mature you? All this stuff. For me, I definitely feel like this experience is meant to mature me, or was meant to mature me as a person and humble me as well. I think that's what helps me do it by myself. I feel like God put me here. So like, my belief in God is what helps me get through the day. Also, my gratitude. Like, even though I'm a single mom, I love being a single mom. I love my daughter. I would give the world for my daughter. I think that's also something that continues to push me every day. Like, no matter how hard the situation is, I'm always going to be trying my best to do my best at being a mom and succeed and make her have a healthy life. So I think that's what motivates me, doing it all by myself. And honestly, I have a great support system. Like, I have my family. I have Kesney's dad's family, who's very supportive. I also have Kesney's dad. I have my boyfriend. Currently, I'm in a relationship. My boyfriend also helps me a lot. He's like Kesney's bonus dad. So yeah, I think it's very helpful to have a very supportive group of people in your life. I understand that that's not always the case for everybody. I got very blessed, again, with my circle of support, so that I'm always grateful for. I feel like that's what helps me do it by myself as a single mom. Is it hard raising kids alone? Oh my gosh, yes. I don't know, like, it is hard. Obviously it's hard. I think back in the day, if you would have asked me when I was beginning to do it by myself, I think I used to see things more in a negative way. Like, what are people going to say about me being a single mom? What are people going to think of me? All this stuff. But at the end of the day, people make life decisions that sometimes maybe people might not think that they're socially correct. And I'm not going to say my child is a mistake, because I don't believe she's a mistake. A lot of people may see that as a mistake or whatever. Yeah, I feel like obviously things didn't play out the way I would have liked them to play out. But at the end of the day, my child is a blessing. She wasn't a mistake. I made, at that time, when I did what I did it with, you know, I'm not going to say I didn't love Kesney's dad. Like, we never said I love you to each other that I can recall. But we did obviously care for each other a lot. And obviously we did what we did. At that time, it felt right. So I'm not going to, that's not something I regret. And obviously I don't regret my child. So it's going to be hard eating this because, one, it's just really hot. And then also, like, the wind of this, like, gets my glasses all foggy. So let me see if I can switch the angle so you guys can see how I'm eating this. I think this is going to be, like, a better angle, kind of, sort of. Let me just bring you guys up just a tad bit. There we go. I think that's better. So I think I answered that question. Oh, no. Well, yeah, is it hard? I think, honestly, it depends on your situation. If it's hard to raise kids by yourself. Like I said, I'm very fortunate to have a support system in my life. I feel like if the circumstances were different, if I didn't have people who help me, who are supportive, I do definitely think I would be having a more miserable time. And I would obviously be putting in more work when it comes to my child. So yeah, I think it also depends who you ask. For me, again, I'm very fortunate. It can be hard at times, yes, because sometimes, you know, your kid has, like, is fussy, is having a bad day. So sometimes, like, you know, it does happen that I'm home alone or I don't have anybody with me. It's just me and my kid. I think that's where it gets challenging, when they're, like, holding a tantrum, or you're paying and they're, you know, again, holding a tantrum, like if you're at the store or something, or you're out in public doing something and your child's crying. You know, people are going to be looking at you, like, it's more pressure on you. Those are the times where it's hard. But in terms of like daily life, you know, I think it just depends how your outlook in life and how you see it. Obviously, you know, some days are more challenging than others, because there's some days when I get home from work and I'm like, oh my gosh, the last thing I need is my child be asking me for milk when I'm tired and I have to get up the couch. And, you know, it's just, obviously it's just like, it's things that it's like, it's the small things, but at the same time, I'm like, if I didn't have my child, I would miss that. I would miss those little things that drive me crazy, or that I'm like, but like my life, to be honest, like my life before my child did not have any purpose. I actually was very depressed before I had my child. If I'm being very honest, I was dealing a lot with depression and my purpose in life. And now that I have a kid, I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, she gives my life meaning in the most beautiful way. Not that my life was meaningless before, but she motivates me. She makes me want to be a better person. So do you ever get a break? Yes, thankfully, sometimes, you know, again, depending on who's available, there's some days when I want to get a break, and my family or whoever it is that I'm trying to get help with, or it could be anybody, literally, like my sibling, my sisters, you know, Kesney's dad's parents or whatever. So Kesney's dad's parents actually help me take care of Kesney. They pick her up from school, they babysit her, so that helps out a lot. But there are times when like they're busy, you know, of course they have their own life. Like obviously they love Kesni, but they also have their own stuff to do, you know? So I think I try to get a break as much as I can and try to, you know, have my village in place. I do ask for help. Like asking for help is not a problem of mine. I ask for help all the time, probably each day. To literally anybody that I can get help with. But mostly it's like my family, Kesni's dad's family, Kesni's dad, obviously, and stuff like that. So yes, I definitely get a break. Yeah, I think getting breaks as a mom is very, very important for your emotional and physical health, because again, you know, it could be a lot. Maybe like if you know you're doing things constantly every day, especially as a single mom. Even if you're not a single mom, you need a break. Like you need a break to make yourself physically healthy for your kids and physically, emotionally healthy for your kids. Like you cannot pour into people if you're not okay and if you're not taking care of yourself. Point blank, period. And some things that I like to do for my breaks that I take is obviously work out. I like going cycling, spin class. I like doing reformer Pilates. I like working out whenever possible, even if it's getting out of the house to go to the store, doing something. Obviously, sometimes like even hanging out with my boyfriend or hanging out with my girlfriends. Those are the type of breaks that I like to have. How do you discipline without a father figure? Honestly, I feel like this is one of the pros of being a single parent. It is hard sometimes when you know, obviously Kesni spends time with her dad and then spends time with me. It is something you have to adjust to. And it comes over time. You know, you do have to adapt and adjust to the other person. A lot of the times, I don't really like maybe agree with how he parents, or like he's more lenient than I am, I feel. But at the same time, like I feel like we need that balance. Like somebody needs to be more strict, somebody needs to be more lenient. Like it's kind of nice to have the liberty of each other. Disciplining my child, honestly, I trust him as a dad. I actually think he's a really good dad with her, and I trust myself as a parent too. I don't really have any doubts that we're doing the best we can from our side. Again, he's a good father to her. I cannot deny that. If I sat here and I talked crap, that would be very hypocritical of me, because he's a good dad to her. You know, I can't complain in that department. Again, I got very blessed that, you know, he's responsible. He decided to be responsible with her, and he takes great care of her as her dad. At the same time, I trust him. If I didn't trust him, we probably wouldn't be having this cordial co-parenting like we do now. I want to eat my shrimp, so I'm gonna put sriracha right here, and I'll put my hoisin sauce right beside it. My thing is I like to dip it, so like I don't know if you can see. I like to dip it and then eat it. So bomb. Do your kids ask about their dad? Obviously my child's father is in my child's life. There are some days when she asks, you know, now that she's older, she is. So there are some times when she's like, oh, I want to go with Papi. Like we recently went to New Mexico, and then we got back. She's like, I want to go with Papi. Like I want to go with Papi. So she went with her dad. Kesni also calls my boyfriend dad. And so it was funny. Maybe I shouldn't be sharing this, but I'm going to share it with you guys anyway. So when Kesni's biological dad picked her up, she saw her dad, and then she started saying Papi, my boyfriend's name. So she started saying Papi, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want to go with dad. I want to go with Papi. So there are some times when obviously she does want to go with her dad, or like she misses her dad and stuff. I feel like now that she's older, she kind of recognizes her dad a little bit more. And she's like, oh, her routine, like she's going to go with dad every other weekend and she's going to hang out with him. So I feel like in that department, you know, obviously she asks for him, but she also does get to spend time with him every other weekend. And whenever he asks for her, for the most part. How do you balance work and motherhood? I do work an 8-to-5 job. And I also do side hustles like social media, TikTok, all this stuff, UGC content. But honestly, it's not bad. Like, I think I do my best, obviously, with the time I have. I try to spend time with her on the weekends. The weekends that I have her, I genuinely try. I can probably count the times that I've left her on my weekends with her. Like, it's only been like a couple. I really do try to spend my time with her. I do have her 99% of the time at home. She does live with me. I am the main caregiver for her. So, with that being said, I feel like I do a good job of balancing my work time, and then when I'm with her, obviously I don't think about work. I just think about her, and then doing fun stuff with her. Obviously, there are some days when I'm tired, but also there are some days when I'm like, I have so much energy, and I'm like, let's go do this, let's do that. Just depends how I'm feeling, and also, of course, how she's feeling. What's the hardest part of being a single mom? I honestly think the hardest part of being a single mom is sometimes being adaptable. Like, sometimes I want to do something and I can't because I have my daughter or I don't have help with her. Stuff like that. Or like sometimes when I need it most, when I'm not emotionally okay, or just need time to myself and I can't have that. I think that's when it gets tricky. Yeah, just finding that balance sometimes can be hard. As a parent, I think it's hard, like when both parents maybe sometimes don't agree with each other. Like, there's been times when like we don't agree with something, mostly with like our schedule with the baby. I think that's where it gets hard, but we do try to compromise, and I feel like we do an okay job of doing that to make sure that, we're both spending time with her, being responsible people, and so on. Next question is, what's the most rewarding part? I think the most rewarding part about being a parent is, seeing your child grow, seeing how parenting helps your child grow, how it helps them, everything they learn. Like, I put Kesney in a Head Start school program. That could have been the best thing I could have done for her. I knew sending her to school, even though obviously it feels weird, and I think I cried the first day I left her because she was crying and stuff. Like, seeing the after, like how she's grown, how she's learning. She's so smart. She's only 3 and she knows so much. So I think that like making choices that make your child happy and healthy. Rewarding part is also like our co-parenting. Like, I feel like we do such a good job of being good co-parents so that my child can be like, hey, my parents didn't hate each other. Like, yeah, things didn't work out, but they did the best they could with what they knew. And as parents, not having seen that, I think is very rewarding. Just seeing them grow, learning, también, like the values that we teach them. I grew up Catholic because his dad grew up Christian, but his parents take her to church. I take her to church with me. About values, teaching her that stuff, and her growing up and seeing that, I think is so cool. So I would say that too. I just want her to be happy and hold our values, our family's values, which are really the same, similar. That's very important. Okay, the next question is, where is the father? So actually, Kesney's dad used to live in Vancouver, Washington because of his work. When we started dating, I actually, supported him in leaving for his job to move over there. But his family actually doesn't live that way, far away from me, which is so nice. I feel like that also aligned too. Like, everything is supposed to be how it's meant to be. I truly believe that. But yeah, now he moved back after, I think Kesney was a year old. But obviously when she was a baby, he did come to visit her and to spend time with her. So yeah, but now he's definitely present in her life. At the beginning, it wasn't every day, but yes, he would come visit her and get to know her and all that. So yeah, and now he moved back. She definitely does spend the night at her dad's house too. Yeah, been working out for us. So, okay, next question. Why didn't it work out? Honestly, I don't know if I want to give details of why didn't it work out. I think at that time, honestly, my thoughts is that I can only speak for myself. I'm not going to give his point of view. But we were in a long distance relationship. I don't think we had the same values and thoughts. I definitely don't think we were meant for each other. Like, we had a lot of differences that just didn't seem okay. I think we both tried, but yeah, that's, you know, the gist of it. Do you co-parent or everything alone? I co-parent. Does he help financially? Yes, he helps me. One of the first things I did was place child support on him because I didn't want any issues with him or him having a future partner or anything, or him fighting me because I'm like, because maybe he would be like, oh, I have a partner and now you're putting child support on me. None of that. I wanted to child support him as soon as I knew, just because I think it's fair. Everything's writing, and yeah, I think we both benefit from that. Tax wise, you know, he has privileges, I have privileges, we both have privileges. Honestly, I think it's the best thing we could have done. Talk badly about him to your kids? No. And I encourage all the people to not talk badly about their parents to their kids. Let them find out for themselves when they're older. You don't have to say anything. I think, you know, speak highly of them because they're still human, even if they're bad, poor, addicts, whatever it is, you know, still they are human at the end of the day. So just, you know, maybe my circumstances would be different, you know, but again, at the end of the day, we're human make mistakes, human make life choices that maybe aren't the best. So yeah, I treat Kisney's dad with respect. At the end of the day, he's my child's father, and I only want the best for her. I want the best for him too. Like, I want the best for all of us, and one of those things is just being healthy co-parents and cordial to each other. So yeah, guys, I think this concludes my video. I have to get back to work. I hope you guys enjoyed this mukbang with me. If you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe. It is free. And if you enjoyed this video, or you want me to answer more questions, or you want to know more, let me know down in the comments. I love you guys. I appreciate you for being here. And if you watch the whole video, thank you so much. I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.